CBA is having a breakout season as they prepare to play the Section 3 quarterfinals against Central Square. Winner tonight goes to the Final Four, so you know the energy in here is fired up. We are here at Onondaga Community College where the men and Lady Lasers are both taking on Cayuga Community College. Now, both teams have 20-plus wins on the season, but they're looking to secure that #1 seed.
COVID-19, aka the coronavirus, is the disease that made the world come to a screeching halt. In particular, the sports world. But he was noted to say, "This is the first time in my life I had to take off my athlete's hat and not only think about me. I have a son who has asthma, I have elderly parents, and they're all susceptible to becoming very, very sick if they contract this disease."
Fenty, Prada, Gucci, how about some Dior? That's right, Syracuse signed 6'2" point guard Dior Johnson, making the announcement via Twitter. The 5-star guard got offers from the likes of Alabama, Arizona State, LSU, and Georgia Tech.
Nia.
Well, what we're looking at is essentially Syracuse's last chance to start dancing in the tournament, right? So they were playing a really, really hungry Louisville team who lost back-to-back games leading up to this one with the Orange. So the number 11 Cardinals were seeing red, or more so, orange, as they were out for blood. McMahon drains another 3. The Cards have to feel good with his hot hand going into the tournament. Joe Girard with the desperation step-back 3 that would make a slight dent into that lead, cutting it to 10. But can the Orange go on a run? Buddy Boeheim shows his range that we all know and love as he hits the 3 and cuts the lead to 7. But this is where things begin to get ugly for the Orange. I always talk about their lack of composure, their lack of stamina. You have to act like you've been there, especially when you are playing a number 11 Louisville. In Louisville, fast break time as McMahon causes the Orange turnover and passes it to Eno. Should have been a foul call there in favor of the Orange. Come on, ref. Boeheim is fired up from the missed call. Man, I feel your pain. They actually teed him up because he was so emotional. Louisville again showing why they are number 11 in the nation. Bam. Tough loss tonight for the Orange in the Loud House as they lose to the Wolfpack 79-74. What's even tougher is the loss of Elijah Hughes for the entirety of the game, apparently a lower body injury. And here's what Jim Boeheim has to say about that. On to the women's side. Syracuse women's basketball team comes into this game hot, winning 5 straight leading into this one with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. This matchup marked their 38th meeting between Notre Dame and Syracuse. The Irish led all-time series 35-3 with an unblemished 17-0 mark at home. Just to piggyback off of that, what can the Orange add to their arsenal to be able to compete with the top teams in the NCAA? You know, you had a pretty cool play, but here is mine. Trill Williams strips the ball in the end zone to run the other way for a touchdown in the Loud House. Touchdown Syracuse to beat the Demon Deacons in a thrilling overtime win.
A 6-5 record. How big of a detriment is this loss to the Orange?
You know, Sharif, this may seem like a really bad loss. It was a tough loss for the Orange, of course, yes, but I think it seems a lot bigger than it is. It was a primetime game against a top 10 opponent. The first time this season, the Orange sold over 30,000 tickets in the Dome. But again, it is not the end-all, be-all. There were some key takeaways from this game that I think is a positive for the Orange moving forward, such as their range from shooting beyond the arc, their defense.
This is my son, though. At the end of the day, whatever he's saying, this is my son.
No.
This is my son, you feel me?
We all know who's the son here. It's him.
As an individual sport, track and field is not where you can find your ideal version of teamwork. It's normally you and the clock, you and the hurdle, you and the track. But at Syracuse University, these 3 hurdlers changed that narrative. Jamil Adams, Tyler Garland, and Naseem Smith are all proud natives of South Jersey.
This our hood right here. 856, you feel me?
Friends, teammates, or the more preferred word to describe their relationship, brothers.
We next door to each other, but somehow we got here. So I just find that crazy that we had a Division I college. We all chased our dreams. Yeah, and we doing our thing, you know.
That energy, along with the hard work put in and day out, pushed Tyler Garland to make his first indoor ACC conference final, placing 6th overall with the personal best of 7.86, giving him a top 40 spot in the nation.
Finals was definitely the plan. I had no worry. I knew I was going to finals. If I made finals, I was gonna do what I had to do and get that PR that I got.
He wanted to get to the finals, and he did that. So like that was like a great feeling. Like, you know, that's like I won too, you know, like. So like just watching my brother succeed, that makes me feel happy as well. So like, you know, like it took that anger away from myself because I saw my brother win.
Jamil, on the other hand, had a disappointing performance at conference, despite personal expectations. This didn't deter him, but instead was used as his driving force.
Like, this whole week of practice, we've been only a week off of ACCs, and I've been working my butt off, you know? I've been working so hard because I'm not missing no more finals, you know? If I'm gonna outdoor, I'm gonna just put my all into everything. I'm not letting anybody take that from me.
As brothers, they all serve as teachers, especially to the youngest of the group, Nasim Smith.
I learned to not be selfish, always trusting each other doing workouts, because we're all going through it. You see, we just did a hard workout there. You know, like we are all going through the same pain, so just don't be selfish. Hold each other accountable.
Each of these athletes have gone through their own individual struggles and journeys. Jamil had to take a year off academically and athletically. Tyler had to go to junior college due to low grades in high school, and from there a Division III school, all before coming to Syracuse. And Nasim is still finding himself as a freshman in a big school in a new city. Despite this, they will always have each other.
It's individual, but like, we always want to see each other win.